Well, guys. Well, tonight is the weekend, so the stalkers are freaking live and out there and shit. And you know what? You know how they got access to our phone and shit and everything we fucking do. Well, anyways, I noticed that you know what? When I want to listen to a song and they don't like it and shit, it's real low. No matter how much I turn it up, you get me? It'll be really low, and the settings always go back to the same shit. You know how you go like to accessories and shit and stuff that's turned off, like talk back and stuff like that. You go to the settings and they're all on. They're all on. Taking 50% of your audio and shit like that. Yeah, they're always all on. You turn them off, they come back on. Text to speech and all that crap and output and crap like that. But especially if they don't like what I'm listening to, some songs have good memories. They're not my enemies or something, but I've been around people where and it brings back a lot of good memories. Where I wasn't supposed to have people in the bar, but I was running the bar, so I had them in there. But they were decent people. It doesn't matter what you do. That neighborhood, before they cleaned it up and upgraded it. When you upgrade something, you make it more expensive, and it looks nicer. But you don't have the same people. Okay, a lot of those people might have been gangbangers, slangers, prostitutes, whatever, it don't matter. But if you're decent in your core, and you're a decent person, I don't care, and a lot of those people where I lived had a decent core. Didn't matter what they did. They had a decent core. And they were good neighbors, even if they didn't live next to me and they were just like there on the weekends, because that bungalow motel, I can talk about it, it no longer exists. People would come from all different neighborhoods just to stay at that bungalow motel and sling crack, It doesn't exist no more. But, yeah, so, they basically learned to get along. I was mad one time because, nobody parks in front of my house and stuff and does anything. And there was a strange car, and I smelled sherm. So I went and talked to them, and they were Bloods. And that's very unusual. That is very unusual for where I lived. So, I talked to them, and they said that this spot was rented out to them, right in front of my house. I got rid of them real quick. I had to go talk to somebody. Yeah, how are you going to rent out a spot right in front of my house and, to two strangers, and rent it out to Bloods? And I've never seen these Bloods before, because it's an all-crip neighborhood. Renting out the front of my place to sell drugs where I have kids, that look out the window and we go outside. So, yeah, that stopped really quick. But, I noticed that, though, when you could hear them fucking having their little gang stalking party and shit, if I'm singing or something like that, the music goes up, like, to normal and shit. Like, it goes up really high so I can sing louder. You get me? And the music's not the same, in the background and stuff. They digitally fuck up my music. Whether it be the words or whether it be the music in background. You know what Contfactra is, right? Oh, God, I'm dust. Contfactra is when you can add things and take certain things out in music. Yeah, I guess it's called Contfactra. But, I really had to search because I know there's apps that do everything, and I don't know that shit. And even if I did know how to do that shit, I'm not a manipulative or deceptive person that I would try to do something negative like that anyways. You get what I'm saying? Because We know those aren't the words, but we work through them in our head. You know, we know that beat is fucked up and that they can piss all over a wet dream and take a badass song and stuff and something that's popping and just make it like shit, like bland. You know, I don't know the point of doing that, because why do something if you're not going to do it to the best of your ability, you know, and try to take the glitches out or try to blend it in so it's not like, you know, noticed right away. You get me? And it's like they shit all over it and they don't even give a fuck. You know, here, take this. There's a piece of shit. You know, don't even bother picking it up. You know, it's like, man, you know, but my dad, he prepared me for this because he did the same thing except for with tapes, and they didn't have this technology back then. And what I did was I took all those tapes. I've been listening to these songs since I was young. You don't think of fucking, you know, and I took them. Back then I had a mental health therapist, and I did see a psych. You know, I took them down to my mental health therapist with a big bag of tape. She goes, oh my gosh. She goes, I know that song. That's, you know, and she took those home for, you know, her files and stuff like that she keeps at home. And then when I moved up here, she was at this mental health. You know, I'm not too worried that she left this mental health because, you know, I wasn't her patient, but I'm not too worried because they're safe. They're safe and they exist. You know, and, you know, after I found out that I could, you know, keep some of my things, you know, for files that, you know, you get me? And I'm not even her caseload. But I know if I ever need anything that I've given her or mailed to her, it's there. If I ever need those tapes, they're there. Because this digital bullshit, you know what? One thing about it, I noticed, I don't know about shit like this. And I shouldn't have had to learn. You know, I didn't know about nothing. The only thing I wanted, it took a long time to push me into even a little bit of technology. You know, I kept a home phone forever because I was afraid of things I didn't know and what technology could do. And you know what? That, I should have stuck with that. You know, it's not technology per se, it's people. It's people. Because you could use, you know, technology for good, but it's not used for good, is it? You know, this linking up to people's brains and all that shit, it could be used for something really good, but it's not. It's used for this, you know, and all this crap. And Edward Snowden, you know, he didn't do all that for nothing, just to spread a bunch of rumors and shit. That shit is true. And, you know, there's doctors talking about all this crap and this synthetic telepathy and everything. But for the dumbasses, you know, that don't want to learn about new stuff like this, I wouldn't learn if I wouldn't have had to. You know, if I wouldn't have had to and this hadn't been fucking just, you know, pissed all over me without my permission, which is basically rape. You know, if somebody's doing something that hard without your permission, that is rape. You know, if somebody asks you something and you say no and they do it anyways, it's rape. You don't have consent. You know, you're raping somebody's mind, you're raping somebody's property, you know, you're raping their fucking life. So yeah, there's a bunch of fucking rapists in San Pedro. Believe me, there is. Because you know what? Our lives are getting raped. Our minds are getting raped. Yeah, rape doesn't just come in fucking sexual. Just like bullying doesn't just come in like physical. You know, I didn't realize that until I got older. Shit, I used to walk somebody to their class and sit right next to them because they were getting bullied. I don't like that shit. It's group mentality. It's weakness. You know, if you're going to go like, you know, numbers against one person that is weaker at something than you, it's called being a backyard bully, a bully. And bullies are cowards. And they feed on each other. They feed on each other. And somebody's got to stroke their ego, right? I don't have one, you know. I know who I am. You know, this shit has taken my looks, my teeth, my health, but I know who I am. And I love myself. Not in a cocky way. And even after I changed, and I didn't ask for that, God changed me. And little by little, to prepare for this, what I handle. And it's very fucking painful. And they sit out there and laugh and mock me and shit. And I'm in fucking tremendous pain and I'm crying. You know, feeling all this pain that they're giving me from all this crap. You know, and everybody knows, the manager fucking just, oh sure, let's kill her as many times as we can. Let's try it. The more we kill her, the more healthy. Yeah. You know it's attempted murder every time they fucking fuck with us like that. You know, I got poison coming in through this shit right here. I would like stop and listen. Where's that coming from? It's coming from the fucking pipes. It's coming from the pipes. They pump poison in here, you know, and make me fucking sick. And then the radiation and shit, you know, hell. They couldn't get my mind. I didn't know it was that strong. You know, they can't get my heart and they can't take who I am. You know, they go for the most vulnerable, like most cowards and bullies do, right? You know, get a new hobby. Go kick people in a wheelchair. And in their spare time, they probably fucking punch babies. Who knows? Same mentality. But peace out. I love you guys.